Welcome to the Sunderland Schoolhouse. We're going to have another addiction and art lesson in here today. So, come on in and join me. Hi, I'm Margaret Dow. I'm an artist. I want to tell you a story about one of my paintings. A couple of years ago, I was contacted by a curator to participate in an exhibition at our local state house. The theme of the exhibition was behavioral health with an emphasis on addiction. So I tossed around ideas in my brain, what could possibly be the best image I could put in front of the public. I decided to take my problem to the local college where I was teaching. So I asked my students, and guess what I found out? 75% of my students said that the impact upon the family members was the most important thing that I could share with the public. So I had to try to figure out how to do that visually. All right, come on over here and I'll show you what I came up with. I used an equation. I used the word family. To that, I added the molecular structure for heroin. And then I showed that that equaled the pain of a heroin addiction upon the family, the heartbreak. For the background of this piece, I used the embroidery that I found on an old tablecloth that had been created by a family member from the 1800s. On the left-hand side, I painted the embroidery as it exists in its beautiful colors. On the right-hand side, I showed the embroidery, but this time devoid of the beauty of the joy. No color, just in black and white. Now, I'm not the only artist who has ever created a work about the impact of the family through addiction in other family members. Okay, this work is by an artist named Kevin Grass. It is a beautiful, large painting. This is a reproduction. Kevin grew up in the Midwest. And in the Midwest at that time, it was sort of synonymous with manlyhood for someone to be a heavy drinker. So Kevin decided to do something about that. He had noticed that in his family that men were having some health issues, that they were having shorter lifespans, and he decided to address that in a painting. So in this image, you see Kevin's great-grandfather at the top. His great-grandfather is passing a bottle down to his grandfather, who is passing a bottle down to his dad, who is passing a bottle to Kevin. And Kevin is saying, not now. This piece addresses generational addiction. NIDA, which is the National Institute of Drug Abuse, says that statistically, if you have a family member, if it is a parent, a sibling, aunt, uncle, grandparent, if you have a family member who is an addict, that you have a 50% chance of becoming an addict in adulthood. I want you to know that at any point, if any substance controls you and you do not control it, that you need to seek some help. Okay? Very important. Kevin did another piece. This piece is entitled Consequences. And I would like to read to you what Kevin says about this work. In our society, it is rare for an individual to consider how their actions will impact the lives of others. This painting depicts an individual who is involved in self-destructive behavior on the left-hand side of the image. When this person pulls the trigger, his actions will result in grave consequences for those closest to him. So in this image, we see Kevin, the artist, on the left-hand side, and he's pointing a gun into a mirror. And we see the tip of the gun being reflected in the mirror, and that is showing his self-destructive tendencies. His self-destructive behaviors are not just limited to him. We can see in this painting the beam of light that goes through, showing the impact upon those that he really loves, his children. Okay, now, let's say that this issue is in your family. What can you do? If you're a child and you're experiencing this, what can you do? The best thing to do is to have an honest communication and to talk with a loved one. You need to take care of yourself. Okay, so talk with a trusted family member, talk with a trusted guidance counselor, maybe join a support group like Alateen in the community, but go get some help to get you through this moment. Okay, we've seen some art today in the schoolhouse, and I want to review what we've learned. Okay, the big thing we've learned is that addiction is actually a family disease. It can affect everybody in some way. Okay, we've learned that addiction has a generational component. So if you have family members who are addicts, you have to watch, you have to be careful because you have a 50% chance of going there yourself. We also learned that the addiction can gravely impact others, and if you are being impacted, you need to go seek some help. The bottom line here is to take care of yourself and take care of each other. Okay, from the One Room Schoolhouse, thank you very much for your time.